Hey everyone, this is BlackHawkSC and welcome back to my channel. Continuing with the changes from the October 2018 patch, the awesome 8Q, like the Hunchback 2C, got a new heat penalty quirk. PGI makes a lot of mistakes, but they did this one right. None of these initial round of heat penalty quirks makes the mechs much better, but the flavor that they give to these mechs makes you want to play them. I don't have the exact numbers, but I think we have over 500 variants now in the game, and it's difficult to find differentiation in a lot of them. At one point, the game had mega quirks for certain weapons on certain mechs, which PGI removed because they said they pigeonholed certain mechs into certain builds. I'd say with that many variants, who cares? If I want a different build, I'll buy a different mech. So give us more quirks like this, and give us back the Gauss Gridiron that I never play anymore. Getting back to the awesome, it can now fire 3 IS PPCs, including heavy PPCs without Ghost Heat. PGI staff has said that the ability to fire triple heavy PPCs wasn't intentional initially, but they'd keep it in the game for the time being. I certainly hope that they make it permanent because we already have a 30 pinpoint damage option with dual H PPCs, and triple regular PPCs simply match that alpha size while requiring one more ton and one more slot. So what are our options in this case? The first build that I talk about and the one that I'll demo is this PPC and laser combo. I know the cooldown difference between the HPPCs and regular PPCs and the ERML and large lasers might throw off some people, but I found this build to be a good balance between pinpoint alpha size and DPS. The ERMLs and HPPCs are going to have longer cooldowns than the large lasers and regular PPCs respectively, so you just wait for those to cool down before firing again. If you've never played PPCs with lasers before, it's basically the same as laser gauze without the need to charge anything. The principle of the build is that mostly you're relying on the 40 pinpoint alpha from the PPCs by firing and twisting, but the lasers can often supplement the damage when you're not getting shot back. You'd prefer to use them in a single PPC when alpha damage isn't as important as heat efficiency. You can see that's why I have the regular PPC separated into its own group. A second option is triple HPPC, triple ERMLs. I was demoing this build at the beginning of the video. This may be better for players who are uncomfortable with the different cooldowns, or you want an extra 5 points of pinpoint damage. It could also be great for those with good aim. However, you do give up a little bit of range on the lasers and some DPS since both the HPPC and ERML have lower heat efficiency than the standard PPC and large lasers respectively. Since DPS is so important in the solo queue, I don't like this one as much, but it might work for you. Finally, this build that I ran before the patch can also benefit from the new quirk. By putting 2 HPPCs and 1 regular PPC into one weapon group, you get a 40 pinpoint damage option when you need to shoot and twist, and you can continue to fire the 4 PPCs in 2 groups when phase time is not an issue. Looking at our skill tree, we're going to get a lot of heat gen and velocity nodes to help the PPCs, max out durability and cool run. And finally we get 60% radar depth. Before I show you the demo, remember that even with the generous quirks and the awesome 8Q gets for the PPC, they're still relatively low damage output weapons. So it's expected that normally players will see average damage output drop with PPCs. The benefit is the high damage efficiency of the weapons, so a lot of games if you have decent aim, you'll end up with a relatively high kill count versus damage ratio. Okay, let's get into the match. Okay, here we are in Crimson Straits. I do like Crimson Straits for the awesome because it gives you long sight lines where you can use the range of your PPCs. So here we can see we're getting some shots into that Jaeger. That's a pretty weird build. But anyways, why you kind of have to like range with the awesome 8Q PPC build is because its low DPS really only works well when you've had some time to engage from a distance. And if you have a lot of short range and mid range engagements throughout the match, then you really don't have that much time to do a lot of damage. So we're sticking here. We have like around the mechs inside the tunnel, and if there were mechs around the Echo 4, Echo 5, kind of like the beach area, then they're going to be about 700 to 600 meters apart. And similarly here over at that kind of corner where the Nova is, that 400 meter range is another good location for us to shoot at. So you can kind of see we're playing the sort of range support, fire support role. The Awesome is not good at frontline, being kind of frontline and taking damage, even though it has a good durability statistically. It's not really. It just can't take that much damage because it has giant hitboxes. So we're staying a little bit back and letting the other guys, push into the tunnel first. So now we're just following them into the tunnel. Got a 2-0 lead already. That Jaeger mech who was trying to poke through the tunnel probably died pretty quickly. Here's his carcass right there. Now the idea for me is not to go out of this middle tunnel here because I see a lot of enemies over at Delta 5. What I want to really do is go to Delta 6 and come around the other way and get some range shots like I mentioned before. No, try to avoid mid-range engagements at this moment, but we do see some action in the back, so we're trying to, you know, get a shot on that Jenner. I think we hit CT. We got a pretty good shot on that Jenner. The Hunchback is pretty hurt now. Should be pretty hurt. So that Hunchback, the Jenner, and the Evan Jaguar were trying to do a flank around the back. And the Raven and I have pretty much stopped that flank. So we did pretty well there. And now I can go through that side tunnel because there's kind of pointless to go around the back now. Okay, something on our back. See, I can shield with my left side. Like, I don't... If I have to lose a side, I'd rather lose my left side. Because most of my weapons are right-sided. I do lose heat dissipation and heat capacity, but much rather only lose a heavy PPC rather than like pretty much every other weapon.
What's the enemy making Delta 4 on the side of the buildings?
So, just want to mention again, play that with the Awesome. Try to play that range role. Try to get into positions where you can take long range shots. Don't be the person to push, because you're really not gonna survive a push. Well, you're just not gonna do that well in a push with that low kind of DPS. And try to take out his left torso with that Hellbringer. Misjudged my heat a little bit there. Thought I had enough heat cap. But that Hellbringer should be gone soon. So all we have to do now is to kill that last guy and we should be done. So in summary, I think the Awesome 8Q got a few new options with this quirk. These builds still have to deal with the Awesome's inherent weaknesses, like its low hardpoints and broad hitboxes. And the 300 engine cap still limits the kind of builds you can take, so it's not some kind of overpowered build. But it really does feel like I'm piloting a proper Awesome now. Okay, let me know what you think of these builds, and do share yours as well in the comments below. And subscribe for more MWO videos like this. And I'll see you next time.